Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today is it's technically the last Beer 52 review that I'm doing, even though I'm doing a live review in the future with my good friend Craig from Kent Beer Reviews and maybe a couple more people. But this is the actual, proper last review from this Indy-Man-Beer 52 box, which I've got to say, I've been pretty impressed with, because the beers have all been really good. The only one that I kind of didn't really like too much, even though I still thought it was a very solid beer, was the Ridge House Saison 17, just because it just had those Belgian flavours. But anyway, it wasn't a bad beer, it's not one of my favourite styles. So this is the last of the Buxton beers that was in the box, and I got 4 in my box, which was beneficial because being in Germany, didn't really have access to too much Buxton, so to be able to have 4 of their beers that weren't just variations on a specific style, that was a good thing. And I've got to try some wonderful beers, and for review 500 I've actually got a bottle of their Subliminal Stout with coffee, which they brewed in collaboration with Stillwater. So, needless to say, so far I've been very, very impressed with Buxton. And yeah, hopefully this beer is going to be fantastic as well. I know for a fact already, you'd have to excuse me, I've had a few beers, currently in the middle of a live hangout, so please excuse me if I keep looking at the screen. But the artwork on this is just fantastic, and that's what I've loved so much about Buxton, is not only have the beers been awesome, but the artwork that they have is just awesome. I used awesome twice to describe 2 different things. It's good England, Peter. But yeah, just look at that. Absolutely wonderful stuff. It's all shiny and stuff, it's golden. So this is the Patersbier, or Father's Beer. This light Belgian Pale Ale is the beginning of a lineage series exploring the traditions of brewing in Belgium. So this is clocking in at 4% ABV. I've been talking for a couple of hours now and having no voice issues, but now all of a sudden I've just got croakiness. Anyway, so yeah, 4% ABV, bottled on the 8th of August 2017, best before is the 8th of August 2018. And like I said, this is from the Indy-Man-Beer 52 box, which I'm happy to give another month a try. And if you've been interested by any of these beers and you've had a look at their website and you're interested with what they do, please do check out my referral link so you can get yourself a nice discount on your first box, and it helps me out too, which is always a good thing. But yeah, beautiful artwork. So this is, I think it's called Origo, and it's in the style of a Patersbier, which I think is like it says Father's Beer, brewed by the monks. I'm not too sure about the history of it. I think Tony Howard, when I did my live unboxing, gave me a little bit of information about the concept of the style. So I do apologise that I'm not really representing the beer perfectly, and it doesn't help that I'm not shooting on all cylinders. So I at least hope I can get an entertaining review out for you guys. But yeah, beautiful artwork. Hopefully I can save that label, and then just a gold crown. So without any further ado, let's get this beer opened and see what we get. So I've not had too many Belgian style pale ales. I actually think the last one I had Belgian style IPA from Frau Gruber, which was their Yeast is King, which was awesome. But I think the last pale ale that I had, although it could have been an IPA, was the Stone Berlin Cali Belgique. So yeah, I'm intrigued at how this beer is going to turn out. Using my Beer Moth snifter glass, which I usually use for stouts, but I'm actually used up quite a few glasses in my little beer session. So I do apologise for the purists out there. But beer in a glass, and yeah, it's got a nice amount of haze in there. Almost has that sort of like lemon drop look to it, very pale and golden. But when you hold it up to the light, amber hues are visible. There's like a sort of like a tornado of well, it's died down now, of like sediment clouds in there. But aside from that, there's no like little bits or bobs to speak of. Maybe there will be as I get down to the bottom of the bottle. But yeah, it looks like a Belgian golden ale. Looks like a pale ale. Has that slight Helles lager look to it as well. But beer poured with about 1 finger's worth of a white, compact, foamy looking head. Let's give it a sniff. And you get that Belgian bready funkiness going on. It has that sort of like slightly spiced but overly brewed tea element to it. Not getting too many hoppy aromas, so I'm not sure if it's like a classic style or like a contemporary twist on a style. And I don't think I've actually had a Patersbier before. But yeah, it's not too overbearing in that sort of like overbrewed tea yeastiness. But like very sort of funk to it. Almost has like a slight sesame seed oil aroma to it, which is nice because I do enjoy sesame seed oil. But yeah, interesting stuff. It is quintessentially Belgian in its aroma, so let's give it a taste. Cheers. You know, God, lips wet. If you were to close your eyes, that sounded so very wrong. If you were to close your eyes, you would swear you were drinking like a traditional Belgian beer. It's very bready, almost has that slight rye spiciness to it. Almost like a little bit of flour on the crust of the bread as well. Not really funky on the flavour. It is more subdued, it's just like very bready, to be honest. Has that slight clove, coriander sort of flavour to it, a little bit herbaceous. I mean, there's nothing in there that's in your face. It is a very subtle beer. And I think the key to it is, I've never had a father's beer before. But if they were trying to brew a Belgian style beer, I think they've hit the nail on the head. Are these beers my favourite sorts of beers? No, not really. I don't really tend to go to the Belgian beers that often because there's always like that like bready tea flavour that I find consistently from different Belgian beers, the more traditional ones. But it is a nice, well-rounded, mature, quaffable beer. But that being said, you would probably want to take your time with it because, I don't know, I'm just really impressed at how they've hit the nail on the head in terms of that Belgianness. There might be like a slight hoppy character coming through, like a very subtle citrus element, but yeah, just close your eyes and you think you're drinking like one of these really high regarded, traditional, like heritage Belgian brews. So they've got to be commended for that. So this is like the beginning of a series, so of course they would probably end up playing around with this base beer and doing different things with it, but yeah, it's like, to me it's up there with the likes of some of the Chimay beers and the Duvel. It is very reminiscent of that, so they've hit the target in that regard. But like I said, these sorts of beers aren't my favourite, but it's really good to know that there's a British brewery who can hit the nail on the head when it comes to these sorts of beers. Would I try it again? Probably not, but I would try some of the other beers in the series, just out of interest. Would I recommend it? Hell yeah, if you love your Belgian beers, give this one a go, because I think this will really, really appeal to you. They've not dicked around with it, they've not been too overly experimental. It's just a good, honest Belgian style beer. So in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. And yeah, the beers that I've had from Beer 52 from Buxton have been fantastic. Like I said, very impressed, especially from my viewpoint as someone who's not really had too many Buxton beers in the past. Would I have been a little bit pissed off if I was to have received that box and I'd had a lot of Buxton beers? Maybe, because 4 beers from one brewery in a mixed case could be seen as too much. But aside from that, I really can't complain about the service, and it's definitely a service that I will try again in the future, aka next month. So if I have twisted your arm by being the emotionally manipulative piece of shit that I am, then click that link down below, get yourself a discount, help a brother out, and enjoy some, hopefully next month or this month, some high quality beers. So Buxton, they're definitely up there with one of my favourite breweries in the UK right now. Every beer I've had from them is like 7 plus. Just a wonderful, wonderful brewery. Quite understated. You know, they don't go out there or anything. I mean, they do obviously, because they've got all this like smoothie and like ice cream sundae beers that they've been doing with Omnipio. I mean, I was looking at the photos from Indy-Man at their stall, and I was just like slobbering. But it's good to know that they can brew beers like this, and I think they should be commended for it. So if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions. If you've tried anything else from this series, you know, suggestions are welcome. Are you a fan of Buxton? And yeah, check out Beer 52, check out Buxton. If any of my friends have reviewed this one, their reviews are down below. And more importantly, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. So thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.